What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 27. My name is Brett, aka Enigma9011, and I am here today with no one. Today's episode is all about you guys. It's viewer topics. You guys inputted them through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Much appreciated. I took a road trip down to North Carolina, and the intent was to film and record on the way down there or back. And answer your topics and things like that. And I did that, went all fine, was nice way to break up the trip and things like that. But unfortunately, for some reason, my phone does not want to transfer that file over to my computer. So we are now not in the car, as you can tell, and we're going to go through these questions once again. So once again, thank you guys for inputting these. I definitely enjoy getting your guys' input on topics and things like that, and answering maybe some questions that you guys have about me or about the content, or random ass ones, as there's plenty in this podcast. Remember, guys, before we get into the questions, you can watch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every first and third Saturday of the month, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can catch it the following week over on youtube.com. Search Enigma9011. It's broken up topic by topic, and also one big video at the end of the week. You can check that out as well. If you have any topics for us, you can comment it down below in the comment section, or you can section, or you can join us on Discord, and you can put them in there as well. All right, let's dive in. So, Acario Beatbox is our first viewer topic question person. I don't know. He put it in from Twitter. Acario's question was, what is next stream-wise? How can we take it up to the next level? So, this is kind of a loaded question in a way, because when I answered originally, some things didn't take place yet. But I'm going to answer it in a current way where some things have happened. So obviously at the end of the month, we went out to San Francisco and went on to visit the Kinda Funny Studios and went on the Game Over Greg show. And that has been, it was a good step. It was an excellent step to take. Obviously, not everybody can do that, but I was fortunate enough to save up some money and take that step to network per se, and expand. So what's next for stream-wise? Obviously, growth is the goal. We are currently, as of the recording of this podcast, we are at 907 follows, which is a great number. It's definitely spiked quite a bit thanks to the Kinda Funny best friends and their support here and on Twitter and Instagram. I've seen a lot of support, and it's much appreciated. My next goal is to get to 1,000. Obviously, it's going to take some work, but that's the next goal. Small goal. I know it's only, 1,000 compared to this person, or whatever. But like, I think that's a solid number to hit, and I've been trying to hit that for a while now. But that's the next immediate goal. We're coming up on 10,000 lifetime views for the Twitch channel, which I think is fantastic. Streaming 4 years, that would average around 2,500 a year, so that's not too bad. But it's just keeping this ball rolling. We have it now where, like I said, we had a lot of the best friends follow and stuff like that. If we can keep that going by word of mouth or things like that, and that's a lot on, okay, this is going to sound weird. That's a lot on me. I have to make sure that I am obviously being myself, but being engaging and entertaining enough that people want to come here. I don't want people to just be like, okay, I guess I'll drop a file. Like, I legit want people to be entertained and have a good time here. Like, I understand, go live your life. You got a lot of different things going. I'm not saying, hey, be here every night like some of you hardcore mofos. You are, and I appreciate it and I love you guys. But like, if you can pop in here and there and you have a good time here, that's awesome. That's the goal. So while partnership and things like that, that's like the far off goal and stuff like that, that'd be awesome to reach. What's next is just building more of this awesome community. Like, we get some new people in here, like we have already with the best friends that have tried this out, and they relate, they talk, they find similar interests and stuff like that, and it's awesome. It's a lot of fun, and I think that is where things are going to really help. I think if we have a strong, tight core community, the rest will kind of fall into place. And obviously, if it's fun and we're enjoying it, it makes it that much easier. If we're kind of just like, oh, I'm talking to one person or stuff like that, that can be very negative in a way kind of stuff. I don't know. It can feel kind of bad after a while. So, like, I think if we're all getting along, we're all jiving, obviously different opinions and stuff like that, but, like, everybody's cordial, everybody's friendly, everybody's having a good time, I think that positive energy will create more positive energy. Positive makes positive, and that will lead to the growth for not just me, but you guys as viewers as well. So, as for next step, it's just keep the ball rolling, keep this growing, and hopefully keep this momentum going. Obviously, like I said, the FAR goals partner and stuff like that, I'd love to do that, but I understand because that is such a hard thing to reach. As I mentioned on the Game Over Greggy show, if I'm only able to do this as a hobby, that's fine. If I'm able to do this and excuse me, find some joy out of this is like putting it aside and doing something fun with it, then that's all fine and dandy. But if I can expand this and make it something where I can make a career out of it, then that's awesome. We are very fortunate enough with the affiliate program to make a little bit of side change, which is great, but nothing livable yet, but that's okay. We're doing this for fun. Hey, we get a little extra cash. I get to play games. I get to meet some new people. That ideally is the cream of the crop, I guess you could say. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Acario. Acario had a second question. This one's not stream related. This one is about Overwatch. What do you think of the new Overwatch Heroes? I had to write down some examples because my memory is shit. Brigitte, Wrecking Ball, Moira, and Orisa. Those are the ones I'm going to talk about. I could probably throw Doomfist in there as well. As for the new characters, out of them, I don't really play any of them a lot. But I do like how none of them have felt like OP or like don't fit in. I don't hate any of them. Like, nobody's kind of like ticked me off or pushed me in the wrong way. I think Blizzard is doing an excellent job of balancing them. Now, speaking of the anger part, there's only one character, honestly, that is pissing me off, and it's Sombra. But that's a whole nother thing entirely. But that's a whole nother topic entirely, like I said. So I'm going to kind of go down the list of the new heroes, the 5 that I just listed. Yeah, that's 5. I can count. That I listed, and kind of just talk about my quick impressions of each of them. Doomfist, all right, solid. I'm not very good with them. I haven't honestly seen a lot of people... Oh, Sombra, my bad. Symmetra. I got my S's mixed up. Thank you, Dio, who's watching live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every first and third Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. Okay, sorry. Symmetra. My bad. Sombra's not bad. Doomfist. Not too bad. Haven't seen a lot of people playing him all that often. Now, pump the brakes. I'm talking as a Widowmaker player here, so that can give you a little indication of stuff like that. Anyway, so as a Widow, Doomfist hasn't given me too much trouble or issues. Like I said, I have seen a drop-off of how many people are playing him, so I don't see a lot of Doomfists anymore. But as long as you're not like in front of him, he's not too bad. Playing him, I haven't put enough time into him to really be good, but I don't really have a lot of interest to play him either. Orisa, I think she's solid. I think she's a solid addition. Another shield character, but like isn't just sitting there protecting somebody. Like, she obviously has the barrier, but she can also be engaged in the fight, and I think she's really good, and I think, like I said, a good addition. She's not impossible to kill, but you have to be coordinated and skilled. For example, as a Widowmaker, I need to worry about how I need to get around the shield. I have to figure out, okay, I need to get a higher elevation. I need to hit a certain spot, and it does damage. Like, you hit her in the face, you're gonna do some damage. So she's a good character. I like her. Once again, haven't put a lot of time into her. Moira, I wasn't a big fan of Moira when she came out originally, but playing with Moira, not myself, but playing with players who are playing Moira now, I think she's fantastic. The healing and the damage. She's Ana on steroids. I like Ana, but she doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't feel like Ana has enough impact, if that makes sense. Moira feels like a game changer. And a game changer, what I mean by that is just she does things. She's an effective healer, and she can deal out damage. That fucking ball that bounces around that she has, whew, annoying as hell, but man, does it do work. So Moira, I think, a solid addition. I think she does some work. She can get it in. Brigitte, or Brigitte, or however people are saying it. Dio's new waifu. I think she does really good. Dio says she's OP. I don't know if she's OP. She is definitely tough to deal with when she has the shield up. And I believe she can do her fucking whippy thingy while the shield is up, or it's a really small window in between. I don't remember. But as a Widowmaker, she is very difficult to deal with. Especially if you get locked on the ground with her, your machine gun is not doing ass against her, and you're going to die unless you run away, at least in my experience. As for from a distance, you got to catch her off guard. You got to either catch her on a turn, or you got to catch her while the shield is down. And most of the time, that shield is up. So, Brigitte does work. Dio has cleaned house with Brigitte, and people who have played on the opposing team have done pretty well with Brigitte. I think she's a good character. I have to get better at dealing with her. Last but not least, the hamster who just joined a month or two ago, Wrecking Ball. I was a little worried about Wrecking Ball when he first came out. I thought he would be a little bit overpowered just because of his mobility and his strength. But honestly, he's not that bad to deal with. His mobility is cool. I like the tether technique, how he can whip around. Some people fucking rely on that too much, though. Let's just defend the point by spinning around. Like, what are you doing? You're not helping anybody. But honestly, he's not that bad to kill. Even with, like, his overdrive shield, whatever thing he has, he's not that bad. Don't get me wrong. Feels bad to shoot a hamster in the face, but I gotta do what I gotta do. So he's pretty cool. I think he's another good addition. Similar to Orisa, he does a good job. I don't know if he's on the level of Orisa as for productivity-wise, but I think he's a solid character. So as I open this up, I think Blizzard has done an excellent job of balancing all these people, so nobody feels like overpowered. Like sometimes when you add new characters into a game, a fighting game or whatever it is, sometimes that character feels like, holy shit, they're doing a bunch. Like sometimes they feel not into the system, if that makes sense. They don't feel balanced. I think Blizzard has done a good job of adding these characters and balancing them out, from my experience. Obviously, that's depending on each person. As a Widowmaker, I'm fine with it. As a Soldier player, who knows? As a Tracer player, who knows? As a Reinhardt player, who knows? It's different for everybody. But from my experience as mainly Widow, that's what I think. I think they did a good job. Dio says his pile drive move can be tough to deal with. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Shield is a ton of life. Shield Bass is cheap. Long range not back. Plus mace give heals. See, I like that. The small heal aspect. Very helpful. But yeah, for sure. So that was Acario's topics. We're moving on to Discord now. That was from Twitter, by the way. Acario stuff. Thank you very much, Acario Beatbox. On to Discord. Pielicious asks, if you could go back and change one thing you've done in your past, would you? And if you'd like to share it. Okay, so on the original recording of this podcast, I didn't have a lot of time to think about said answer. So I said no. And the reason for that is because, you know, if I changed something in the past, things wouldn't be the way they are now. Now, don't get me wrong. I still wouldn't change anything, but I thought, in thinking about it more, I did think about something that I could change that, I don't want to say regrets, but something I could have done better. College. I went to college for 3D game design and animation. I did it on a whim because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I wasn't really prepared mentally for like college and stuff like that. Not like, oh my God, it's going to be the hardest thing ever. But like I said, I had no idea what I wanted to do, what career path I wanted, what job, things like that. So I kind of did it on a whim. Hey, I like video games. Let's go try this out. And it, you know, I became more interested in it while doing it. One thing I would have changed about college is how much effort I put in. Not that I didn't put effort into the projects, but I didn't nearly spend enough time reading the textbooks, doing the lessons, figuring things out. Some of the students in the class, they were small classes, you could definitely tell put in time. I'm going to shout out Mark right now. I don't think he watches, but Mark was like the top guy for our classes. He was the modeler. He was the animator. He put in a lot of fucking work. And there's other guys too who were very skilled in certain areas. Kevin was another good animator and modeler. There was Ray, who was like really good in Unreal Engine and making levels. But like while I was interested into it, I didn't put as much effort as I would like to have. And that's something I want to get back into and improve on, because generally it's interesting. And if I can do something decent with it, even if it's just for myself, I think that would be very, very cool. So I think if anything I would have changed is how much effort I would have put in there. And I mean, people say it all the time, oh, try hard in school and do your reading and stuff like that. And it's true. You know, you need to do that. I know it's not the most, interesting of things, but, these are your friends. If you're a kid watching right now, read your damn textbook. All right? So, like, for example, this is the 3D modeling software that I used. Oh, boy, 2012, dating it. There was another class, web design. Not that I was interested in web design, but literally, I followed the textbook. I aced that class. I was top student in that class. Granted, it was Dreamweaver, very easy. Do I remember how to do it now? No. But, like, I don't understand how people in that class didn't understand. It was literally, okay, step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. And it's like, what the hell? So the class was pretty much that in the lessons. And then at the end, you had to make your own website. So it was pretty much just take the things you learned, make something cool. And I liked that class. I liked helping people out, but man, some people are dumb. All right. All right. Next one from Discord is from Pancake. She asked, what is your favorite accent a person can have? Okay. I don't know if I have a favorite accent. I think the one that's most, like, intriguing, some of these questions are not going to be super in-depth, by the way, just heads up. The one that can be most intriguing, I guess, would just be, like, a British accent or an Australian accent. I know it's not, like, an in-depth answer, but I don't know. They always sound fancy. Another one from Pancake was, what was your favorite school subject and why? Okay, so I'll go through the main 4 first, and then I'll go into the, extra stuff. So social studies was always fine. I never excelled in social studies. Like, I did fine, but I wasn't, like, super smart in it or really interested into it. It was always fine. I always enjoyed my teachers, had a good time in the class, but it wasn't for me. I think I took AP something my senior year. That one I kind of did bad in, but that's because I didn't really care. But yeah, social studies was just always kind of like, all right, it's a bunch of facts, learn it, try and memorize it, stuff like that. English was fine for a while. When we did vocab and things like that, or typing, I was all for that. But reading the books, man, if you weren't interested in those books, sucked. And then I remember specifically, I believe it was 10th grade English. We had to, like, read a book, and then we had to give, like, a presentation on it, and it was public speaking. And this was before, like, teaching had made me better with public speaking. Man, that sucked. You only had to talk for, like, 2 minutes, but my dumb ass being nervous and all that just kept rambling and rambling and rambling. It didn't help I didn't read the book because it sucked, but I don't know. English was one I didn't really care for. And then we get into math and we get into science. Math I loved, science I loved. Math was always something I enjoyed, and it came pretty easily until we got to calculus. Calculus crushed me. Pre-calc wasn't too bad, but calculus itself I did terrible in. I don't know if it was, once again, just like towards the end of high school and like not really caring too much or stuff like that, but it wasn't that I wasn't trying. It's just it didn't click like it did before. So calc didn't go too well, and then for some reason I decided to take stats. Stats didn't click either. That was like, I could understand the basics of it, but once we get in that advanced stuff, it just totally lost me. I just couldn't understand it. Could be the teacher, says Dio, for sure. Like with calc, I went to get help. There was actually a Taekwondo parent that worked at my high school, so like I would go during like study halls and things like that to go work with him and see if I can improve, or after school. And I don't know, it just didn't resonate the same way it did over the years in elementary and middle school and early high school. So I don't know. As for science, I always did pretty well in science. Like, once again, not the best, but I always had interest in it. Dissections weren't too bad. I loved doing physics and chemistry. I mean, I loved all the sciences that, like, once you start kind of picking it up, earth science, bio, chem, and physics. The only one that didn't, out of the four that was the least was earth science. And it was just because of one subject or curriculum. It was the rocks unit, sedimentary and igneous and metamorphic. And the thing that was sucked about it is you would go to class, you would make a line outside the class, and the teacher would just have a bunch of rocks. Okay, what type of rock is it? If you got it right, you got to go in. If you didn't get it right, go back in line. That was not fun. But yeah, I loved biology and I loved physics. I think those two, those are my favorite. And then I took AP Bio my senior year. But science was always one that resonated with me and I enjoyed and had a good time with. And AP Bio, that class was awesome. We had a group of 5 that were like a tight-knit group. But the whole class in general, too, was a solid group. Everybody pretty much got along. So that was always nice, and we had a good time. The teacher was great. So those are the main 4. Art was good. I was never really great at art. Like, there was the occasional project that would be good and I'd be very proud of and happy of, but then there was a lot that were just not. Like, the pottery unit was not good to me. And some other, I'm trying to think of specifics, but I don't know. Pottery for sure sticks out, as that was not a strong suit of mine. Technology was okay. I liked when we did like the computer side of technology. Once we got into woodworking and things like that, I wasn't a giant fan. But it is what it is. And then gym was always fun, if we're gonna count that. Just because, like, my friends and I, we were the tryhards in gym, because why not? You're here, you're playing a game / sport. Why not have fun with it? Why trudge around and, you know, not do anything and let time just kind of slip when you can have fun with it? Like, it's recess when you don't have recess anymore. So games we went really hard in and had a good time with: volleyball, badminton, pickleball, ultimate frisbee. We only did baseball a little bit. Same with flag football. Basketball, we didn't do too often, honestly. But yeah, we were the tryhards, and we just wanted to have fun with it, to be honest. So, all right. So Pancake, thank you for your 2 questions. Dodgeball? No, we didn't do dodgeball. We never did dodgeball, lady. Not the rope in the middle or barrier and then throw it across, or the one line up on the wall and hit. We didn't do that. We had dodgeball tournaments in like an after-school activity. I didn't get involved with it because I was too busy with Taekwondo, but no, we didn't do dodgeball in class. That sucks. Dodgeball's the best. It's pretty fun. We played a lot Taekwondo. It's fun hitting the kids. What? All right, moving on. More Discord topics. This one is from Kiwi Lipstick. What do you think you'd want for your last... What do you think you want your last meal to be? So if I'm about to die, what am I going to eat last? Let's see. There's a lot of good foods out there, so this makes it tough. But I think I would go with a Thanksgiving / holiday type like meal. Like Chipotle, good one. Like either turkey or chicken. Make it for a while. Probably turkey. Gravy, rice, steamed broccoli. Fantastic. Holiday is my most favorite time of the year. One reason, because of that. Mom does an excellent job. Well, Mom and Dad do an excellent job in making those. And obviously you got the day one. Great. But then the next, 3 days, lunch and dinner of that. There's not much else I eat until it's gone. All of it. So I think that would be my last meal. Pizza's great, chicken wings are great, burgers are great, all that stuff. But I think that home cooked holiday meal, I think that would be my last send off meal if I had the choice. Another one from Kiwi. In a zombie apocalypse, what is your game plan? All right, this is another one that doesn't have a lot of depth to it. There is zero game plan, and I'm screwed. If they're walking zombies, maybe, just maybe I'll make it a little while. If they're running zombies, fucked. That's it. Now, reverting back to Kiwi's topic, number 1, Dio puts in the chat Portillo's. Oh, you son of a bitch. That hurts. That hurts deep. That was the awesome thing about living in California. Could pick that son of a bitch up anytime I wanted to. Hot dog with everything on it. Italian beef with hot peppers. Fries. Chocolate cake shake. Damn it, Dio. That might, I might take it. That might take it. Son of a bitch. Now I'm thinking about that. Now I'm hungry. All right, on to Kiwi's third topic. If you could bring back things from your childhood, what would they be? This one's a tough one. I think I had a tough time with this one originally as well. I don't know what I'd bring back. I think... I think I'd bring back... It's not really an item or a toy per se, but the memories of experiencing something for the first time, if that makes sense. Hey, you played with this toy. Hey, you played with this game. Hey, you watched this movie. You have that awesome feeling when you're growing up, but sometimes you forget about it. They still hold a special place in your heart, obviously. But, that surge of energy that rushes through you when you experience them. Lady has a good answer for this one. Not paying bills with a crying face. So that's my answer about what I'd bring back. Okay, this one's kind of a two-parter because Kiwi put in one part, Pancake put in another. Kiwi asks, what was your first phone? Pancake asks, what was your favorite phone? Okay, so I think I've owned 4 phones in my lifetime. My very first phone is a Verizon phone. I don't remember the name of the phone, but it was a flip phone. It was a gray little thing, had an antenna that was stuck on there, just a little, rectangle peg, not extending, but, and it kind of looked, some of my friends in high school said it looked like a whale when it was folded over, a little chubby thing. That phone was fine, did what it needed to do. So that was my first one. Second one was also a Verizon phone. It was kind of like a rectangle, but with rounded edges. And it was a slide phone, or I don't think that's the right terminology for it, but you slide it up, there's the keyboard. That I liked that phone a lot just because texting was really, really easy once you got the hang of it. That was a nice phone. And then after that, I've upgraded a lot. I went to iPhone 5 or 6. I don't know. 5 or 6. I don't know. I went to an iPhone. I think that first iPhone was my favorite just because it was the biggest jump in technology per se. But I remember trying to figure everything out and learn it. and things like that. I didn't really do that with the other phones. Like I kind of did. Like the slider had a snowboarding game that came on it already. But yeah, the iPhone was the biggest jump, so it was kind of like figuring out all the stuff I could do. And with Charlie having one before me, like seeing his phone and being like, oh, that's really cool, you can do that, and like having it to myself and being like, this is mine. So yeah, then it was the iPhone there, and then now the iPhone that I have currently. Yeah. Sidekick was Lady's favorite non-smartphone. Dio's non was the LG Envy. Gotcha. Full keyboard on one side and keypad on the other. Oh, okay. Interesting. MySpace pics. Oh boy, MySpace. Alright, so that answers the cell phone topics. Alright, continuing on with Discord. We got Rainbow Kaleidoscope asking, what 4 languages do you wish you could speak? Okay, so 4 languages. We got English, so I mean, does that count in the 4? Probably not. It's probably 4 additional. So we got English. I'd like to speak fluent Spanish, not because I think I'm going to go visit anywhere where Spanish is natively spoken. Don't get me wrong, I get it, America, it's pretty prevalent, stuff like that. But I mean, like, out of the country kind of thing. But the reason for that is because I studied Spanish for 5 years. I still remember a little bit, but it's definitely, if you don't use it, oh boy, you're going to lose it. And boy, did I lose it. So Spanish, I think I'd like to speak that fluently, just because of, like I said, past knowledge and furthering it. Second, on top of that would be Japanese. I know that sounds odd. I kind of have this goal for whatever reason, or just be like, oh, that'd be a cool thing to do, to go visit Tokyo. And I know English is a pretty well-spoken language there, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to know Japanese. 2 others, I guess French. Why not? Oh, whatever. Oui. Baguette. Ha ha ha. I don't know. So French, and then Korean. That was the other one that I answered in the phone or on the recording. I'd say Korean just because of the Taekwondo heritage, and if I could go visit there and be fluent or comfortable with that, like possibly learn more about it and the culture and things like that. So I think that's it. So Spanish, Japanese, French, Korean. There you go. All right. All right. Last one from Discord is from the Lady Killer Bunny, who's watching live over on twitch.tv/enigma911. Sorry. If you had to live somewhere outside of the U.S., where would it be and why? Okay. This one's a tough one too. I don't know if I would ever live out of the U.S. The place I think the answer I went with was Great Britain. And the reason for that is just because of similarity. Obviously, London or England in general looks very pretty. A lot of sightseeing, all that stuff. But it seems the most similar to the United States, but that's based on looks. I don't know too much. I don't know what the rules are over there, government, yada yada, things like that. Like, it seems like they're pretty good, but who knows? I guess that would be the answer. I'm not going to dive too deep because I'm going to probably offend a bunch of people. So yeah. All right, then we are over to Facebook for the next 2 topics. Mrs. Clark asks, how would you spend your first million if you won the lottery? Okay, so I kind of discussed this with John's topic. I don't remember what episode it is, but you can go check that over on youtube.com, search Enigma911. First million. Okay, so instantly, without doing anything, I'm going to take half of that million, so 500,000. Yeah, math. I'm going to save it. Don't touch it. Just put it away. For the other 500,000, pay off any debts I have. Help my parents pay off any debts they have. Then from there, I'm going to find my own place, or probably build my own place. In that place, I would like a studio for myself and for the dudes. Get nice computer setups, TVs, game setups, capture cards, webcams, microphones, all that stuff. Space. Need space. I need to be comfortable. Maybe a separate Extra Life setup. Maybe a board game tabletop setup. Something where we have the freedom to work if we're editing or stuff like that, but also the freedom to record and freedom to play things and stuff like that. So that would be, the studio would be definitely one thing in the house. I think I would put that as part of my house. If not, at least on the land that I'm on, maybe kind of like, not a garage area, but similar to how like a garage can be separate from the house, something like that building. So like if the guys want to stay late, I'm like, get out of my house. I can be like, hey, do your thing. So I think that'd be awesome. I don't know why, always a dumb goal in my head. Have a bowling lane or two in my basement, so that would go in the house. Other than that, I don't need a giant house, but I do want space. Like I want a decent sized yard. I want space for the house, the yard, the studio, whatever. I want one of those winding kind of driveways. I know it's more work shoveling and stuff like that, but I've always wanted one of those and big ass trees that you drive through as you're going to the house. But I want, like I said, I want space, but I don't want to be like super secluded away from everything. Like I want space, but I want everything to be kind of within reach. If I need to go grocery shopping, quick drive. If I want to go hang out somewhere cool, quick drive. Nothing egregious. So yeah, other than that, I don't know. Maybe trips, probably. I don't know. 500,000 seems like a big number because it is a big number. Honestly, I don't see how I could burn through that like that. Like I know some people win the millionaire, or like win Mega Millions and things like that. They spend it all and then it's all gone. And I'm like, how? I can't imagine that. You can blow 500,000 so fast building a house. Okay, well, then again, I don't have that frame of reference. I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't want anything egregious, but who knows? That's why we have the other 500,000 not touching it. So I don't know. I don't see how you can burn through it so quick. But then again, I'm not doing it right now. I'm not living it, so I can't, like, actually put figures to this, figures to this, figures to that. So I don't know. Something that's comfortable where we have space. Doesn't have to be a giant mansion or whatever it is, but that's it. And besides, that's only my first million. I could win more millions. So, who knows? All right. Last one from Facebook, and then we have a new topic brought to you by the live audience over on twitch.tv. Last Facebook one, this is a quick one. It's from Sean. He asks, jelly, grape, or strawberry? I believe he was talking about jellies and jam. I'm going to be honest. Don't like jellies and jam. Nope. Just give me a plain old peanut butter sandwich. Whoopah. Gimme. You're good. Don't need any strawberry, cherry, grape, whatever jam on that thing. Get it off. Nope. No thanks. Just straight up peanut butter sandwich. I'm good to go. So yeah. Over to the Twitch chat. I believe Dio247 has a topic that he would like to add to the podcast right about now. In the meantime, while he's typing that in, I will read. That's why you get a snowblower. Lives somewhere where it doesn't snow. Tell your friendly polar bear friend to exercise. Do the shoveling for you. There you go. Could blow through 500 fast. Building a house from the bottom up. Location, supplies, contractor, build it. Let's go. There you go. There you go, there you go, there you go. Oh. Topic is from Dio. And I have about 7 more to go after Dio. Let me fill this dead air, though. Remember, guys, you can catch the podcast live every first and third Saturday of the month over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. And be in the chat like Lady and Dio are right now. Whether you're chatting with us or lurking, you can do that. And remember, guys, today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by the merch store. You can check that out in the description down below. You can get all of your Enigma 911 swag, t-shirts, backpacks, tank tops, coffee mugs, and more. You can get that all over there if you'd like to show your support. It is greatly appreciated. You blow through 500,000 buying a pothole in Denver? Oh, I know I'm not going there then. Jeez, seems crazy. Once again, I don't have the logistics or knowledge of 500,000 and how that could be, so maybe that's the dumbest thing I just said. I don't see how people spend that much, but whatever. That's what I gotta do, is go off the knowledge I got and what I can do. Dollar Bill says he has neighbors that help me or him remove snow. It's nice. That's awesome. Okay, Dio's topic is if you could make one change for your favorite Overwatch characters, one negative and one positive, your own nerf and buff, what would they be? Oofa. Okay. Buff is I want Widow's ult to do more. I'm doing all this work, and I get, like, don't get me wrong, the radar vision is very helpful, but sometimes I feel like in comparison, I'm not doing all that much offensively. I get it's a support tactic or a support trait. I get that. It's fair enough. But sometimes, just sometimes, I'm out there and I'm like, well, all right, we're doing it. So I think that would be my buff. It's just a different ult that's maybe more offensive. What would it be? Honestly, I don't know. What do you give a sniper to buff her and put a damage output on there when you kind of need to be accurate? I don't know. As for a nerf, see, this is a tough one. They've kind of already been nerfing the grappling hook, and like I notice it's like a little longer, a little shorter over the past iterations. It hasn't really affected me too much. Like, obviously those first couple matches, like, oh, you're noticing this is loading slower or whatever it is. That hasn't been too bad. I guess I would say the charge up of the 100% on the scope when you're zoomed in, I guess make that slower. I guess that would be my debuff. Sometimes I feel like maybe it's just me with playing her a lot. I kind of get the timing down of like, okay, shoot, 1, 2, 3, shoot. Like I get the timing down. It's not 3, but it's like a second and a half. But you get the timing down of like pop, wait, pop when it's 100% and things like that. God, I gotta stop saying that. So I think that would be my debuff, is maybe wait a little longer for the full charge. Her machine gun doesn't do a lot of damage. Venom mine proximity is wider. That could be that is an interesting one. The proximity mine, it does its job. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It's not really super helpful. I put it more as like a, hey, someone's over in that direction, like covering my butt or something like that, or putting it on the payload. But it's not super great, but it is what it is. All right.